Ukrainian city of Kremenchuk. More than 1,000 people are believed to have been in the center at the time of the attack. Charles Stratford.
On Twitter and social media platforms of this shopping mall, reportedly hit by at least one Russian missile this afternoon. As you reported, the president actually has come out now. President Zelensky has said that over 1,000 people are inside or were inside this mall at the time this missile hit. The city is interesting in as far as what's happened there in the last few days. Certainly yesterday there was a Russian attack on a bridge in the city. There was one person confirmed dead in that strike, another 5 injured. Certainly the Ukrainian authorities are saying that this shopping mall is nowhere near any kind of strategic institution or factory, anything to do with weapons, and it is a long way away from front lines. It's around at least 200 kilometers from the southern front line, probably a similar sort of distance from the eastern front line. It sits on the Dnieper River, above the city of Dnipro. So, yeah, we are hearing gradually of reports of casualties as well. According to a government source, at least 2 people have been killed so far and another 20 injured. And of course, condemnations are coming through from government officials as well. The head of the presidential office describing it as basically another Russian atrocity. Russia should be called to account for this attack. Of course, Russia has continuously said that it has no intention of hitting civilian targets and actively tries to avoid them. It was interesting yesterday, the missile strikes in the capital, Kyiv. Sunday morning, very, very early, very few civilians about, but of course there was civilian infrastructure, residential buildings hit in that attack also. So, yeah, as I say, horrific scenes of fire, billowing smoke. We're beginning to see pictures also of the injured being carried out of that mall. Horrific scenes in that area, Kremenchuk, or that city, Kremenchuk, which is effectively sort of central eastern Ukraine, but as I say, a very long way away from front lines.
I'm gonna say, great to have you guys. Welcome. Thank you for finally joining us. You fit into this team like no one before. It's a win-win situation for Finland, Sweden, the Baltic Sea region, and for NATO that are more NATO compatible. One of the strongest combinations of an air force, a ground force, and then of course a navy. We're not that concerned about what the consequences of Finland and Sweden joining. Medvedev say we're going to move nuclear weapons to the Baltic Sea region if Finland and Sweden join NATO. Well, we know that they're already there. So, you know, this is the type of stuff that we are very prepared for. Russia is a nostalgic power. It has this sort of feeling that the world is out to get it, that it will be attacked, and therefore it needs to defend. Can't change. So we have the 1,300-kilometer border with Russia. But history we can nudge in different directions. So we're doing that now with NATO. Finland has been a fairly reliable partner with Russia. And by that I mean to say that, you know, we've always had very tight, tough relations, but at the same time we're realistic. That's why we have a huge standing army and spend 2% of our GDP on defense. Finnish